The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum. Assemble. You're listening to Fantastic Forum. All Games Radio's premier comic book show. And your live weekly show about comic books. Look, I went into automatic mode, didn't I? Look, it's the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick it with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for Cal. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
I don't like that the audience wasn't privy to the 20-minute Who's on First segment you just did.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. They're gonna have to go ahead and join our no, not our OnlyFans. We don't have an OnlyFans, right? Or do we? I don't know. Mo's busy. Speaking of which, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
Are we still trying to do a tight 2 hours today?
Oh yeah, tight. Look, we're trying to do a tight 1 hour and 45 minutes. Tight 145. Oh man!
And to find out just how tight it can get, go to our OnlyFans.
Oh. Next, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
The only one that doesn't look amused by my jokes.
He laughs on the inside. Trust me. He's laughing on the inside. Look, and as for myself, they call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about the film To Your Last Death. I say that right, John?
Yes.
Oh.
15 minutes of work right there.
There it is. It paid off. Hard work pays off. We're also going to be talking to you all about DC's The Doomed and the Damned. Did I say that right, Moses?
Meh.
Meh. And we'll bring you the latest in comic book news.
If you would have read, would have said it right.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, listen, I need the content early, man. That's why I need it early, or else I can't. I need it early.
After the show, and in fact, you didn't give me the
early.
Link. So, like,
now you're bringing up the link. No one's talking about links. We're talking about content. We don't want to talk about links.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since we're on
the I need the content early. I'm messing with you, bro.
Yeah. So there's nothing like If you go to fantasticforum.live today, you're not going to find anything that we're talking about, or how to get in touch, or the actual episode that you're watching. But if you're watching it, you don't need to go to fantasticforum.live.
That's true. But the link is in the bio. Or like not the bio. I'm sorry, link. I'm sending
but
here like
they're gonna watch us from social media. Don't know to go to that description to get the link.
Where are they watching us?
They're not. That's why I needed the info so I could send that out.
Oh,
ahead of time.
I'm sorry.
But if you are watching, just go anyway. Start clicking around. See what happens.
I think it's working. We got a decent audience so far.
In that page with the links, there's a mystery link to our OnlyFans.
Before we dive deeper into all this nonsense, all these wonderful things that we're going to talk about today, I want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who, without him, the show wouldn't be possible. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you, buddy. So, yeah, gents, how's everybody feeling? For whatever reason, I mean, I don't know. It's just been a long week for me. It feels like I haven't seen or talked to you all in a long time.
You haven't.
It's been about a week, feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, I feel like, I mean, obviously, I don't get to see you in person, Oz, or, because you're in the Midwest. But, Mo and Jay, I usually get to kind of lay eyes on at one point or another, and I don't know. It hasn't happened. I'll rectify it though. I'll rectify it. It feels like it's been too long.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Type 145. Let's go. Wait. So what are we doing? Are we doing news first, or are we gonna do some reviews first? What are y'all? Oh wait, I'm sorry. Should we let the intern speak or no?
Might as well. We are paying her.
Right. There it is. Go ahead and let's do it. Oh.
Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Nobody even reads our Discord anymore, right?
I went on it earlier today, and the last link is from last week when we started the show.
Oh, wow.
Last chat, I mean.
I agree, computer. So yeah, we may have to have the intern re-record that.
Hexzilla in chat says technically still listed on all games under live shows.
I wasn't aware that site still existed.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a chef site.
You are so silly.
Ruben and Gordon Ramsay are getting ready to start their own OnlyFans or something.
Wait, what's happening? Like Gordon Ramsay and Scott Rubin on OnlyFans?
.com.
My cat is trying to kill me. Damn it, cat. Damn it. My cat decided she wants to be on the show. Sorry. Yeah. She's not used, or I guess she got a little used to me not being in this room. And so now she's like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, that was her room before you took it over.
I mean, I don't feel like I took it over. I feel like we cohabitated, but what do I know, right?
You're not a cat.
I am not a cat. That's true.
You'd know, this cat hates me now.
Selena?
Yeah, you took her room.
No. Selena and I are buddies, but I think Selena's like, I don't give a damn about Fantastic Forum, which, I guess that makes her consistent with all the other women in my life. So
yeah, I think it's not.
I'm joking. Okay.
Pepper hates the show.
Who hates the show?
Remember, Oz once told me a story where she says, I guess she had forgotten it was show day, and she's like, "Oh, your fucking show." Oh, you got to do your fucking show. That's right.
There it is. the bane of wife's existences. Fantastic Forum. We should make T-shirts that say that.
This show is becoming the bane of my existence too.
Oh no! Why us?
Because now that we're doing freaking video, I got packages here that I would have opened. Like I would have torn this open already, and put it on my wall. But now it's all got to be for the gram.
It's all for the gram. Do it for the gram. Do it for the forum, Oz. For the forum. Yeah. I think and this is like, I guess, something I haven't even said to any of you all yet, but I think I'm gonna do some videos in regard in regards to me building my some of my collections.
Yeah, that's what we call it. Because you saved it in the jar.
So, like you all know, or at least I've mentioned, I think before on the show, and I know that I've mentioned it to each of you all, but I'm trying to create a like an X-Men First Class collection, and just kind of have like different. I mean, I definitely want to get like some. What happened?
I get it. You want to line them up in front of you, and each one is a different target. Gotcha.
I don't even know what Oz is talking about right now. I'm like, what? Listen, but yeah, like it maps like some Marvel Legends and some Pops and stuff like that. So I'm thinking I might do some videos showing like as I get different pieces. Maybe that might be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it. We'll see if people like it or if they even care. They may not. They'll be like, enough.
You know what? We're actually getting more viewers on that short content than we are on the actual shows.
I mean, look, Fantastic Forum is a commitment, and yeah, if you can give them 5 minutes or something, they'll watch.
So, but that's the thing. So, at least you'll get more people to watch it than It's basically just to promote this.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to do that reaction video.
You know what? I very well I can't say for certain, but maybe Friday I'll come get the green screen.
Okay. If you want, we could do it. I could do it with you.
Okay.
Because it's a 5-minute film, horror film.
I don't have the idea of it already because it's 5 minutes. That means like they don't have no time to ease you into the scares.
Yeah.
What is this? What is Oz doing? What is wrong with Oz?
I said I was gonna do it with you.
Oh, well, please don't do that.
I miss whiskey.
I like that. That's definitely more scary than any movie.
I love 211, but I miss whiskey.
Somebody asked when that happens to you. Pull their asshole open, step into their asshole, close the door behind you, take a spray paint can, right? Larry was here. You spray paint. Fuck his whole asshole up. These Snicker bars, some paper on the floor, read a newspaper, ball of paper, newspaper, and throw a newspaper on the floor. Fuck his whole asshole up. You know what I'm saying? Open that asshole one more time. Open it again. Open that asshole again. Oh! Step out his ass. Well, you've been there. Step in the asshole. Spray paint, arrows here. Leave garbage. Snickers, eat Snickers, leave garbage. Fuck it. Get out. Open it up again. Yeah, step out the asshole. Step out. Don't close that motherfucker. Leave it open so you've been there. You feel me?
That's a preview for our OnlyFans.
Why is it a whole clip?
And how long have you been holding on to that?
Oh,
You've just been waiting for a chance to play that.
About a year.
I'm like, listen, I guess I'm glad that's how long it took for that clip to be appropriate, but still, like, damn. I'm like, I guess the moral of the story is that a clip like that you knew would be appropriate at some point during the show. Like,
a lot of shit that I'm still waiting for it to be appropriate.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Like I was for something else, but I couldn't find it. But yeah. Oh, here it is.
I need my diction to be lubricated.
What? Why did I say that?
I don't know.
Damn. I just be saying random stuff sometimes. You did not do that. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Let's do this. Look. Tight hour 45. Tight hour. Let's go. Let's go. What are we starting with? Are we news? Let's do some news, please.
Comic book news.
We should have a like Kurt. Well, not like that, but like.
All right.
I'm not sure how much of a news story this is, but at some point we need to have a conversation about how DC is trying to sneak in a crisis now.
I mean, are you talking about what is that? Future State?
No. Future State is like the aftermath of death metal.
Oh, now see, we should talk about that. Yeah, that's not quite news. You're right, but we should definitely talk about it. It's weird because I feel like nobody knows, or not knows, but there's a mixed opinion in regards to whether that is actually a crisis or whether it's not.
It is at this point because it's complete. They're at the point where they're going to reboot the entire universe. So that's a crisis. Just because the sky didn't turn red does not mean it is not a crisis. And they snuck it in there because
the sky didn't turn red. It's not a crisis.
Because the first metal was just a really cool story, and it had callbacks to different Batman stories. And you got Batmonium. It was really Capullo and Snyder playing around, and Capullo getting to draw different costumes that look kind of cool. And that's what we all assumed death metal was going to be, was part 2 of that. And the more I read the one shots that came with it too, speed metal and all that, it's a full-blown crisis. They are resetting the universe with this thing. And so yeah, at some point we need to talk about it.
Yeah, we should. I don't know if I'm going to read it, but we should talk about it. I'll read it.
No, you don't have to. It's not going to stop you from reviewing DC's Doomed and Damned.
Go over that way. You only showed us half the book.
Look, you only have us read it.
What? How are you mad at me?
Because it's funny.
How are you mad at me?
Don't make me explain.
What did I do? No. That is what you didn't do. But speaking of DC, anybody want to talk about this whole distribution thing that happened with them?
Yeah. I mean, they're fucking up, and it hasn't even been a year of their whole thing, right?
Like, it hasn't been a year. Like, remember, this happened post-COVID. It hasn't even been 6 months.
Like, July was the actual start of this whole thing.
Like, there were no comics. The first comics came back, I want to say, what was that? Was that June? Or, well, maybe DC did earlier in May.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, like after Diamond was like, we're not going to do comics, DC's like, oh, well, we're going to do comics. And then hence the whole thing with Lunar and UCS. And now they're talking about they've dropped UCS, which is kind of screwed up because the way that this was working, as far as I knew, was that these two distributors basically handled like 2 halves of the country. And so you had people based on I think it's the East Coast people were using UCS, and then the West Coast people were primarily using Lunar. So now that they're going to drop the other joint, all those East Coast people are going to have to sign up to a new publisher yet again to get DC Comics.
And they still have to get it by Tuesday.
I mean, yeah, and they are going to be getting them on Tuesdays as well. You know, I know that we had conversations here about what effect DC putting comics out on Tuesday would have on the industry. I don't know how you all feel about it, but it doesn't seem to me as if there's been like any kind of seismic shift in regards to.
Well, we don't. I mean, we can't judge the effectiveness of a Tuesday release date from DC until they actually start putting out comics on Tuesday.
They did. They have been.
No, because the comic book shops are not getting them any earlier. They're getting them on the same day.
Oh, well, you're saying because because they haven't been able to get the distribution right yet, so
No, no,
that
they can't ship their comics a day earlier, and so comic book shops don't have time to. By the time they get the comics, they can't have them on the shelves by the next day, because usually they get them end of the day, like Monday or something, and Tuesday's when they sort them out so that they're up for Wednesday. That's how that usually works. And so if they could get them there earlier, then yeah, comic book shops maybe could get them up on Tuesday, and then maybe we could see that it still has no effect on the industry. But right now they still haven't been able to do that. Comic book shops are not getting those books any earlier.
I a lot of the times they get them later, at least out here.
Yeah.
Out here, I know that I spoke to some of our shop owners that we know, and just kind of asking them about this development, along with the $500 minimum that DC is requiring now. They basically felt the general consensus was it's still pretty much a shit show.
They did make returnable though, right?
They're making some books returnable. Like I think they're doing that with this Future State 5G thing. Like all those books are returnable.
Yeah, it's not even a response to that minimum order. It's a response to a new event. Like they would have done if they didn't have this issue.
Right. But the $500 minimum order thing apparently is not that big of a deal.
No, I mean
it doesn't seem like 125 a week for a full order for a comic book shop doesn't seem like a lot to me. That's something maybe you guys have more insight onto, because I can imagine $125 going really quick for a shop, because I'll spend a week out 30, 40, $50 is not like unheard of.
Oh,
a week.
Yeah,
so for a shop to have 3 or 4 people like me, they've already got that covered.
So when you go and you spend your $40 a week though, are you buying all DC books?
Not necessarily. I was buying the X-Men books for a while.
Yeah, see, because that was my thing, where I was just kind of like I wasn't certain how many people are going in and buying DC books, especially
now that Empire is done,
mm-hmm.
it is mostly just DC books. I might pick up an independent book here and there,
right?
But yeah, it's pretty much DC, and I'm not happy about it.
I just go for 5-6 minutes and then just grab everything that I can for 5 or 6 minutes, and then I'm out.
This was Mo's like he's on a game show.
Comic Basement, this last time I went, I bought a bunch of stuff, which one of it is DC's Doomed and Damned, which I'm reviewing later today. Well, Joe and I are reviewing. But the traffic was a little weird for Atomic Basement, because right now with COVID restrictions, you can't have a lot of people in there. So there's people waiting for the capacity to be met. And I forgot about that. So I just walked right in, but I had to right in front of the shop in the red. So I just went in. Mike said hi to me, and I still think he didn't recognize me, but
did you do that today?
I did that last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, okay.
A video of everything I got on Instagram at Fantastic Instagram, if you go on to check that out. I just went, and there was an actual artist there selling independent books, so I just bought all the ones she had. That was like $30 right there. And damn, how much did I spend that week? I thought it was like
but you spent how much on comics?
Yeah.
Don't let the wife hear you. I've learned that lesson.
Oh no, it's okay. She knows me. She knows that if a certain amount that I spend is because I can buy that 10 times, but I only do 1/10 of what I have. But yeah, that was like $30, and then I grabbed everything I saw for 5 minutes, because it's funny because I think Mike kicked out the people he was talking to to meet capacity because I just walk right in. But because as soon as I checked out,
I was like, I don't do lines.
I like that he grabs everything he can in 5 minutes. Like, you don't get a discount for time, right?
Well, I was in the so it's like let's say roughly I spent $75 because now that I'm doing the math.
He's like, the wife is in the parking lot. She's gonna leave in 5 minutes, so I gotta.
No. I was alone, but I was in the red because it's look, there she goes. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, I hope you guys heard that.
I heard something, but I don't know what she said.
He said I can spend whatever I want.
Oh, there it is.
There.
Oh.
After me.
No, it's just for the show. My
But
wife
yeah.
said that on the air too.
But yeah, I did buy a bunch of DC and Marvel stuff and other publisher-y stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think Mike doesn't recognize me.
I actually, I talked to Mike about this DC thing, and I did tell him, I was like, dude, Moses comes in there all the time, and he was like, really? He's like, what's he look like or whatever? Well, but it's funny because I told Moses, and he was like, wait, is he this? Like, you described a guy. I'm like, no, that's absolutely not Moses. That's absolutely not Moses. I'm like, no. And then I described you, and he was like, oh. He's like, yeah, I know that guy. Like, but so I don't think he's made the connection for whatever reason that you're Moses from Fantastic Forum. He knows you from the movie screening,
yeah.
And he knows you, I guess, like from coming into the shop before.
Yeah.
But not like us on Fantastic Forum, which is crazy.
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's almost like he looks like all other Mexicans to him.
I don't think that.
That's just
an
accusation on my part.
I think I look like every other white guy to him.
It could be it. Like, I don't know.
No, Mike.
Racist against white guys.
He's probably my cousin.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the 500 apparently not that big of a deal, but yeah, they're screwing with people here with DC with this publishing thing. And I mean, a lot of people are kind of, or at least of the owners that I spoke to, they're kind of like, this reeks of what happened with Marvel when they tried to do the publishing thing back in the day, which is pretty much what most people attribute their bankruptcy to.
What I want to know, because obviously comic book shops don't like this because it's extra stuff that they have to do to keep their customers satisfied. What I want to know is what is the company, UCS? USG?
UCS, I think.
UCS. I want to know what they're thinking, because they thought they had 50% of the DC market, and just 6 months later, gone. They're just thrown away.
I mean, I think, keeping in mind the other part of this that was like the big debacle when it happened was like these were basically comic book shops, and it's like, these were people that were doing like selling comics online and in stores and such. And so, if they're not DC's distributor anymore, they're probably just going to go back to selling comic books, and that's it.
Right. And they put out a thing about how, hey, we're still offering other stuff.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Is UCS, is that what Midtown was using? Because when I read the story, they specifically mentioned Midtown had to do something.
Well, I think they are Midtown.
Yeah, they are Midtown.
Yes, is Midtown. Okay, so now Midtown has to get it from Looter, so they've lost any discount that they got as a distributor.
Well, but I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, they definitely would have been better off with just, if they had been able to get it from Diamond, I guess.
I only pay attention to that because Midtown is technically where my pull list is.
Oh, is it really?
Well, not technically. Yeah, that is my pull list now.
Okay.
A physical shop.
Your shop. Okay.
Since COVID.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
And I'm scared to go to the shop. Like, I want to get other stuff. I want to see what's out there, but I don't want to walk in because I had a pull list and like stare the dude in the face and be like, I already have all those comics pulled out for me.
Oh, you didn't end it?
Well,
Yeah.
it was closed. And you know what? To be fair, my comic book shop doesn't have a phone number. Like, you kind of have to contact them through Facebook. Yeah, I know that face you're making. I know. I see. You get where we're going. Like the shop that I got shut down at least had a phone number I could call.
I was done messed around and shut down the shop that had its stuff together.
Now that's a rub and tug, so I can't.
Now he has to deal with the ramshackle comic book shop.
Right. So I was going to another comic book shop. I had a pull list. I like the guy. He's a cool guy. Definitely a nerd, so I like talking to the guy. But I got to find a new comic book shop to go to. Yeah, I feel bad. I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do.
You should do what I did with Pulp Fiction when I had a pull list that I couldn't afford.
Put your cock out on the See, that's the thing. He knows I can afford it. It's just I've already bought all those books.
But that's the thing. That's why it's more shameful for me, because I was just like, fuck it. Like, yeah. I just went in. I'm like, you want me to buy comics now or not?
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if it's open. I haven't even driven past it at this point.
He says if you want another pull list, you're gonna have to leave a credit card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you, the phone company?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
so
the phone company. Yes.
It might be a while before I bring up independent comics.
So, what else is happening in the news?
I don't know. Where I keep my news, I'm using to stream. I'm strictly giving commentary on my.
That's
news.
fair. That's fair. Hold on. I could tell you what else is happening in the news.
I could bring up news stories, but I took off my glasses for the video, and now I can't read the screen. Like, yeah.
Wait,
So,
what?
I can either look pretty for the video and not have the glare of the screens that was actually annoying me, or I can read news.
Okay. Well, since the pretty thing's not working, you should read news.
You only think I'm pretty from behind.
Listen, I don't know what that means.
Onlyfans.com/fantastic.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, please don't anyone
make
point
that
to
happen.
Eddie.
Hold on. Mo, do we have an OnlyFans account? Like, is there?
I mean, look, if you guys really want, we'll have one tonight.
No, we don't really want. No one wants that.
I
we
make
have
it
to start
a
one
habit.
now.
I make it a habit of joining every social network that comes around because of the other Fantastic Forum. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
what? You said you might make it for the
one
other.
that doesn't exist?
No, I make a habit of joining every social network
Oh,
to get the name before the other Fantastic Forum gets it.
We need to have an OnlyFans.
Real quick, Gravity Station in chat and our Twitch chat says, "Hey,
Hey, Gravity Station. That's a
what
cool.
up, Gravity?
I like that.
OnlyFans.com/fantastic forum.
That might be a kid.
I can't even. Well, there's an age gate, so it's perfectly safe. If he's underage, then technically, if you're under 13, you're not even allowed to use YouTube. I don't know
Wait,
the age
what?
restriction on Twitch. YouTube, if you're under 13, you're not allowed to use YouTube.
How do they know?
that's how it's."
Well, there's a thing you have to click and say you're not less
Yeah,
than
but
13.
The problem is
It's
anybody
foolproof.
their parents click for them so they could just leave them the fuck alone.
Right. Well, at that point, you have your parents' permission, and so it's allowed. But yeah, it seems like a foolproof system. I don't know how anybody will get around that. I don't know how much longer I can stall for you, Lawrence.
Oh, I thought you were about to pull up a story. Look,
I told you I can't read. I don't. No glasses.
Oh,
I was
Okay.
playing music. Larry wouldn't have to feel pressure, but
No. I don't mind the pressure. I will take it.
no, but the
Uh,
dead end we don't want.
No, I agree with you on
Find a news story. What's it? Look in our
That-
group.
That's what I thought he was
I-
doing.
I-
He looked
it-
like he's
it-
reading.
that. It is exactly what I'm doing.
Are
But,
you not?
all
you have
the group chat stuff is about metal.
We have a metal dude.
Yeah,
But
but it's for the heavy
like-
metal minute.
No, there's stories going back to like Sunday and Saturday in there.
Hey.
Did
All
we
I-
talk about the Batman shooting again? And there's a
Yeah.
picture of a like a wingsuit Batman standing on top of that church or something like that.
There's also a super cameo purport rumor.
Yeah, I think Wonder Woman was there too, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't, but and then there's like a Flash thing too, but it didn't seem like it. Like it seemed like a more of an Easter egg. That's like, oh, it's like the Flash, but it's not.
Well, there was like okay, because the actual story, as I remember, it was like 6 different things that showed up. The Superman and Wonder Woman thing were people wearing the costumes for Halloween. So, but it's implied that if the characters exist in the universe, then they would be a Halloween costume for Superman and Wonder Woman. The other stuff was just like I think Easter eggs, but like you're really reaching in because there was like punk metal band posters.
Yeah, and had the Flash.
Right. There was a Thunderbolt, which is actually common for punk. I see that a lot in punk music. And they're saying, well, that's the Flash. There was kind of a thing for Anarchy, which is a villain most people don't even know who the fuck that is.
A thing for punk.
Wait, what's that?
It's also a punk motif.
Yeah. So it could be both. At best, it's an Easter egg, but people are making it seem like, oh, well, the Anarchy's gonna show up and have sex with Riddler, and that's the subplot.
I saw something that they said something about Mr. Freeze, but I didn't get to read it.
There's the company that he works for. I forget the name now. In my head, the name Alchemax is popping up, but that's a Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's a company that he
Acme?
works for. It's not Acme. How dare
Acme.
you? There's no Roadrunner.
Acme.
Well, it is.
What's
There is.
Acme Chemicals was in the original Batman, right?
I don't think it's Acme.
Oh, was it Axis? No,
No,
it's Acme, right?
Well, Ace is the Joker thing, right?
Yeah,
Is
but
it
that's what Larry's talking about.
Oh, am I talking about Ace?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're talking about where the Joker fell, right?
Yeah.
That's Ace Chemical Plant, not Acme.
Oh, okay.
But
There-
there is I think even in the Batman animated series, there's Acme in there. It's just
Yeah,
not.
it's not Acme, but there is a company. There's a thing for a company, and that's where Dr. Fries. Most people don't realize his name is actually Fries.
It's
Work
Freeze.
that. It's Fries.
It's Freeze.
How dare you?
Listen, and I'm mad at Heck stealing my thunder from my news.
I
Yes.
can't read the chat. It's right there, but I can't read it.
Heck basically saying Jared Leto's reprising his role as Joker in the Snyder cut.
And Snyder's just getting the band back together.
So
That's quick.
so two things. One, in regards to the whatchamacallit Batman movie, the Pattinson joint, like I think I kind of feel like how Mo usually feels about many of these movies, and it's like, I don't want to hear anything else about it. Just when it's time to show me the movie, show me the movie. Like show me the movie already. Like that's
I'm telling you, when I saw the raccoon makeup as he took off the mask,
Mhm.
I'm in. You don't have to the whole movie could be 90 minutes of that, of him just staring at the camera with the fucking makeup on the eye. Every once in a while, maybe put on and take off the cowl so you can see that's why the makeup is there. I'm done. That's it.
And then when it like starts streaming from his tears.
Yeah, look, technically I only need 45 seconds of that, and then I'm done. Then I can come back and rewatch the 45 seconds after a refractory period.
As far as
OnlyFans.com.
As far as the friggin' Snyder Cut goes, I'm just like, this joint is gonna be terrible. Like, it's gonna be
You know, it's
the
not.
worst.
That
It's gonna be terrible.
It's not going
You
to come out.
It's gonna come out. HBO, like, they can't, like, HBO Max needs it to come out. It's
HBO
just
Max
gonna be.
did not last.
This is why they need it to come out.
the Snyder Cut cannot fail at this point. It just can't.
Why can't it fail?
It's impossible. Scientifically, it's impossible.
How possible to fail? Like,
It's a combination of, look, Snyder has had what 2 years to see what everybody hated about the original cut. Like whatever people said about the original cut, Snyder has now had the time to say, you know what, I'm gonna avoid all that, and I'm gonna need money to fix my shit. So he's already got money to fix his stuff, and then on top of that, about what's it called, confirmation bias, I believe.
oh yeah, hmm
Or now at this point, people are just gonna convince themselves
yeah,
that this movie is amazing.
yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying people won't say it's good. It's just gonna be terrible.
On top of that, it's no longer a movie; it's a 4-part miniseries. So now it's a TV show. I mean, come on.
It's gonna be like the opposite of Watchmen. It's gonna be like, wow, this is the worst thing that ever could have happened to us.
When I say that it cannot fail and it has to be amazing, I'm saying that because of everything before, not just a chance, mostly confirmation, but people are gonna just think it's good no matter what this is, because it's not the original, and because it's something that people have been asking for. That confirmation bias on top of Snyder having the opportunity to fix the fuck ups of the original, it can't fail. It's going to be amazing. People are going to say it's amazing. Now, us that speak truth and actually, like, we speak. Well, I guess I don't know. Does Lawrence speak truth when it's not a Disney thing?
I speak truth all the time.
He might.
Okay,
Period.
He does it, but he explains it wrong.
Okay, so as Lawrence explains it wrong, and we have to translate what he's saying, I don't know. I think the four of us here will be the most accurate review of the Snyder Cut, because everybody else is gonna love it, and the people that don't love it are gonna be the people that Lawrence normally represents, the Marvel side. Damn, that button's not ready. So yeah,
That's God telling you how wrong you are.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Lord
that's
Jesus.
Satan. That's Satan saying, "I got your back, boy."
Oh boy.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is stay tuned to Fantastic Forum when the Snyder Cut comes out, because we are the only ones that will be honest about whether it's good, bad, or the same.
It's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly to be.
Look, you can't. Gal Gadot's in it. There's no ugly in it. There just isn't. It's impossible. Although, I guess you just said Jared Leto's in it too. So 50-50. Jared Leto's not that attractive when he's not a woman.
Dude, like, I mean, and this isn't comic news, I apologize, but you see, like, a lot of people got up in arms about her playing Cleopatra, right?
I believe I mentioned that like last week.
I don't remember.
Really?
Sorry.
See,
sorry.
just like you didn't remember DC Doomed and Damned.
That was a whole news story, and I explained it to you because you hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
You did a good job, Oz.
No.
remember.
Hold on, Lawrence.
You did a good job.
I'm a little bit upset now because I'm the one that's supposed to be drunk during the stream. How are you the one not? How drunk were you?
I wasn't drunk. I had
CBD?
something to drink though. I don't know what to tell
CBD?
you.
Is that what it was?
That's what it is. Yeah, see, like it's too much. It's too much sparring.
My wife went to go get CBD, and we're expecting a vial of oil. No, they literally just gave her weed.
Yeah, that's
Really?
great. I love that.
I mean, she smoked it. It
Yeah.
did what it was supposed to.
Yeah, it doesn't get you like high. It's like smoking a cigarette that actually alleviates everything else instead
I
of just
can confirm that because she was a huge stoner, and she
Yeah.
smoked, and she said, "You know what? I don't feel high. Like I don't feel the THC like she used
Yeah.
to from regular ass weed."
Right.
But she got it for concentration, and it was like she drank a lot of coffee. Is what she
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, and without any of the side effects of like your Adderall or your even coffee, that shit CBD on edible form is good. Even in small doses, it works, and in high dose, better.
The edible fucked her up. So
The-
she got an edible that was supposed to help her sleep. Did not help.
Was it CBD or?
It was CBD. She went to a CBD shop. Like that's specifically where she went to. That's why she was surprised that they pretty much gave her weed and told her, "Here, smoke this." Because she said the guy pulled out a whole bunch of joints in front of her. She was like, "Wait, whoa, hold on, whoa." But yeah, she tried it. The concentration stuff that she smoked was fine. She said they gave her a gummy bear for the sleep stuff, but that didn't help. That had the
You were like,
yeah, something like that. She said the gummy bear, like for sleep, she had a bad trip, so she's not gonna do that again.
you should try it for sleep CBM.
There's a CBM now.
Yeah, there's CBV, CBB, CBD, CBM.
This is getting complicated.
Yeah.
Like, how did they decide what letter comes after CB?
Well, it's the chemical.
The
in it.
chemical.
Yeah.
So like the M's like monoxylupilate.
Well, it's cannabinoid, cannabivoid, cannabidoid,
Oh, it's all one word that they make into
Well,
CBD?
it's a chemical compound that is derived from it. That's a small part of it. Like technically, you get CBM, CBD, CBD, and everything. It's just some strains have it more than others. And now with it being mostly legal, they can actually gear and breed it to give you that instead of everything else in a higher concentration. And then with distillates, you can actually isolate that chemical compound and just have it. And there's
I only brought it up because it freaked me out that they actually gave her weed to smoke. Like I thought she would get a vial of oil. Like she walked in saying CBD oil, so we thought I could give her a little dropper or something like that. But it was weird.
Yeah, but it's it's like smoking tobacco, but without the tobacco effects.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Lauren tastes the Snyder Cut.
So, was there anything comic book related or worth watching on Quibi?
No, there was nothing
Okay.
worth watching at Quibi at all.
I forget
Okay.
that's even a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not anymore. So
Did it get canceled? Is that the story?
Yeah. It
the
got
story is that it's gone. They're
I
done.
didn't. When did it start? It started like right after COVID. Right? It's only been on for a month, I think.
started
like
a month
6.
into COVID. Like I actually got it, and they did this weird thing where you actually get the app, and it's like, okay, you're gonna have access to everything for 10 days, and then everything that came out was not worth it. Like
It was
even
supposed to be like just short videos. It was like
Right.
Vine.
But,
Yeah.
well, it's more like YouTube. Like you'll get a 12-minute program,
Oh, were there 12-minute stuff
Yeah.
things on it? Oh.
Yeah. And I think 10, 12 was probably the longest. There was a series about a guy that's surviving in the wilderness on his phone. So you watch it on your phone and you're watching him like if he's FaceTiming you. And that's the only thing that sounded good, but I think that just came out like last week and now it's shut. I didn't even get to watch it.
That'll be picked up by Instagram.
Or yeah, I think Snapchat has that infrastructure to like give programming in that format.
Was Quibi a paid service?
Yeah, that's where.
Oh, it was? I thought
Yeah.
it was free.
It was like $10.
Dude, yeah, but then I heard Mo say 10-day free trial. I'm like, wait a minute, hold
Oh,
on.
that's crazy. That's
It wasn't.
crazy.
It probably had free shit, but it wasn't entirely free. Like even Peacock, I'm surprised that hasn't failed yet.
Well,
Because
Peacock is free though, right?
not really.
What
Anything
makes
worth
it not real? You have
I
to pay
think-
money for Peacock?
for anything worth watching, yeah, unless you want to watch like old, was it like All in the Family reruns or something, like, or MASH reruns. I don't know. It's one of those old NBC shows. Remember, NBC didn't have a lot of good shit up until Must See TV Thursdays. You know what I mean? And none of those are owned by NBC. Those are owned by either like Warner Brothers or like Seinfeld's just owned by Seinfeld and Larry David and Sony. And so it's like,
Actually, there's still people that swear by MASH.
I do, but that was ABC. That wasn't NBC either. I just threw it in there.
I love man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a match fan. I never got it.
Just because you're wrong.
That's what it is. I'm just against Vietnam War.
It wasn't Vietnam.
Oh, Korea War.
It was Korean, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't name Larry.
Yeah,
Don't
and you're,
look.
you're,
Let
you're
the Koreans live.
you don't like seeing doctors having fun. That's what it is.
That's look. I love that. That's why I watch Scrubs. I don't watch Scrubs. I don't. Sorry.
But yeah. There's
what else?
there's a Morbius thing that I didn't get to read either. I didn't, because it's on my phone. Which,
I feel even less about Morbius than I do about Batman. I'm just like, if that movie comes out, which, well, I'm sure that movie will come out at some point, but
It's so
when that movie comes out and somebody else is like, let's go check that out, then I'll probably go just like in solidarity.
that's another Jared Leto joint. I mean, you kind of have to at this point, right?
Oh, I don't have to do anything.
Jared Leto fan.
I am a Jared Leto fan.
Did you watch Dallas Buyers Club?
No, I didn't watch that.
Jared Leto fan.
What do you mean? How am I a Jared Leto fan?
I didn't say
I've been a
how.
fan
Why?
because of Fight Club.
Was
Jared
he
Leto Club?
He's not even the star of Fight Club.
Who
He
is
doesn't
it?
have to be the he doesn't have to be the star to be amazing. He was amazing in Fight Club.
What did he do? Is he the
He's the blonde guy that gets beat up. I want to destroy something
Jared
beautiful.
Leto?
all right?
The one that's so pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I thought he was hell at the bottom Carter.
You didn't even see that Seinfeld episode where he was on.
He was on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I've seen every episode of Seinfeld. I just didn't know it was Jared Leto. If that's what
As
you're
a
saying.
woman,
How good an actor he is.
As
he was
who?
woman.
No, he wasn't. Was he really?
Yeah, he was. Remember the episode where George, like, he thought the girl at the photo place was like into him, so he started taking sexy photos for her.
Yeah.
That girl was Jared Leto.
Man, if you don't look,
I'm gonna look up.
You're not being serious.
I'm gonna be so pissed off if it's not him.
I'm serious.
Like, I know what he looks like as a
No, Jared Leto's not that old.
Pull up that screenshot.
Man, if you listen, I'm done with you.
You Google search that, you're gonna get George doing this. Wait, actually, I would frame and put it like right there. Right, see where that on air sign is? Where the George painting would be.
Google the episode where George thinks the Photoshop girl likes him, blonde girl,
I'm gonna
and
put on my glasses for this, and you better fucking be right because I'm.
I'm right.
There's Sexy Oz.
I think you are. And I'm gonna look at the camera
There
now.
he is. There he is. You don't have to look up any news. Just stay there and look at the camera for us.
OnlyFans.com/Fantastic Forum.
All of a sudden, Larry's on board.
What the fuck do you spell Seinfeld? I should stop talking.
Lubricated.
Man, cursing a lot on this
Oh,
episode.
dude.
I apologize. Dude, it's not coming out.
Oh, dude. Let me ask you, have we mentioned Utopia on this show already, too? Am I forgetting that?
No.
No? Utopia? Amazon Prime?
Anything that we were supposed to watch. Like, you still haven't really watched Lovecraft Country.
Why haven't I watched Lovecraft Country? Like, what What? Why do you feel that way? I don't even understand. Like the last time you brought it up, I was like an episode behind.
And how many episodes are behind are you now?
Like 2.
It,
But
so
that
you're
means watching another 2.
we're 2-3 weeks ago.
Well, but Moses, like,
What?
listen. We can talk about Lovecraft Country next week.
No,
That's
no. No, look, October's almost over, and you haven't reviewed not one horror movie. That's all we're
Lovecraft
doing.
Country. Look, the last episode of Lovecraft Country I watched was terrifying. With
Lovecraft,
the girls
Love-
skipping around.
that's not a horror movie though.
Yeah, it's not.
Like we were letting you skate by watching Lovecraft Country.
Like, it turns out Lovecraft Country is only a horror to white people
It terrifies me.
because you're white.
I'm not a white person.
Tell that-
Oreo.
I ain't take no potion.
I'm looking at the filmography for Jared Leto.
No. You got to Google the picture. I said Google the picture. No, I didn't say no filmography shit. I said Google the picture. All right. Yeah, I say he's uncredited. He's uncredited.
Too pretty for credits.
You know, this was the 90s. You couldn't play a woman.
Oh man, wait! Look, he's gonna look it up. I'm gonna go look it up. Hold on, I'm gonna go look it up.
Jared Leto could dress as a woman, hit on me on a bar, and I'm not gonna know.
Watch Lord of
It's one of those things I'll find out that night.
Larry. Did you watch Lord of War?
You know what? I don't think I did get to see it. Nick Cage joint, right?
Yeah, not a Jared Leto fan. Did you watch?
Oh, he's in that? I don't even know. But how am I supposed to? He's not the star of that.
He's not the star of Fight Club, and you beat off to it.
Wait. Why do I beat off to
Yeah.
We don't know why. Well, I mean, Jared Leto is pretty.
it?
Did you watch my
A lot
so-called?
of shit.
Say what?
Did you watch My So-Called Life?
No.
Not a Jared Leto fan.
I mean, am I supposed to know he's in there?
You know,
that's not his start. Every
Jared-
girl I know that's a Jared Leto fan loves My So-Called Life.
Oh.
Jared Leto in Fight Club explains that like the way he gets punched in the face, that's how Joker got those metal teeth.
And that's what made Larry a fan. Like,
that feels
won't
good.
watch Saw, but he'll watch him get that punch.
That joint is good. Saw is kind of rough.
Well, Jared Leto's in that too, Larry.
In which Saw?
All of them.
No, Jared Leto's not in all.
Look, you're just gonna have to watch him to
I don't think I have to. Wait, what? Wait, so the
Yeah.
woman is the woman at where now? She's at the
Well, don't
what,
put
like,
at the photo developing place.
yeah, which I'm like, the funny part was I'm like, damn, what do I even call that? Like, I can't even remember what it was called because it's been so long. Like, I feel like those things started going away when we were kids.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, damn, like what is that called? Photomat?
Yeah, maybe. Well, you guys look, I might just do a heavy metal minute to vamp. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, it's time.
Holy
Oh, you
crap!
did you find it?
Brad Pitt has a set of apps in his. Sorry, that was Fight Club. I'll stop. I'll close that window.
I'm gonna do the heavy metal minute. You guys cool with that?
Yes, please do it, Moses. Tight
I'm-
1 hour and a half minute.
So this week, a lot of shit's been happening, but the big story that is breaking the internet is Miley Cyrus doing a Metallica covers album. And you know, as a metalhead, people are like, yeah, you're gonna be mad at that, huh? You hate that. And it's like, personally, I don't. She's a talented singer. She's got a good voice. I've seen her do shit acoustically. I've seen her do a cover of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, that Temple of the Dog song that I can't think of right now. And she did Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. on one of the awards, and she does a good job. The guitarist in her band is the dude from Ozzy Osbourne, so he's got some pedigree. He's gonna produce it. He's her producer, and he plays guitar for her too, I'm sure. And but she got a lot of hate on Twitter, and that's the place you sign up for if you want to get hate, I guess. But it is one of those weird things where people are just mad. They're like, "Oh, Metallica, they just sold out anyway. Like they're just pop music now anyway. Like people are hating on Metallica for her doing a Metallica album." So go figure with that. One thing I do have to say is that heavy metal is an underrepresented, underfunded, and underappreciated genre, and it sometimes takes somebody in the mainstream to kind of bring it and give it that little bit of kick where people would want to discover the talent that is there, like somebody like Miley Cyrus doing Metallica. And it's definitely something that I am going to check out. I can see her with her vocal range do a lot of these songs. The question is, which ones is she going to be doing? I would love to see her do like something like Motor Breath, Phantom Lord, anything off of Kill 'Em All. I think she could do. Even some of the covers that Metallica made classic that are now Metallica songs, because they actually covered those older bands and did a better job in some cases, or brought to me like that's as much Metallica as Battery. And Battery might be a good one she could do. Battery would be good. Sanitarium, some of the soulful songs would be kind of cool. One, Fade to Black. I don't want to do too many of those number 4 songs, those slower, longer songs, but yeah, maybe something like Ain't My Bitch. I think she could probably kick ass in. And but yeah, there's when Metallica did do covers for the other bands, they got a lot of money. I don't know how much money Metallica will get from this deal because people don't buy CDs anymore. When Metallica did the covers, people bought the CDs and bought the other. I know I bought Diamond Head CDs. I bought Motorhead CDs. I mean, I heard A Merciful Fate from Metallica. I heard Misfits from Metallica, and I bought those CDs. So we'll see how that goes. I'm Moses Magnum. This is a Heavy Metal Minute.
I'm gonna have to disagree with your Heavy Metal Minute for a quick second.
Do it in the comments.
I don't know. Do we have post discussion here?
I mean, what's your
What? Just because you think the songs that you mentioned Miley Cyrus would be good at, I don't agree. I think the ballads is where she would be better off. I agree. I don't listen to Miley Cyrus music, but I have heard enough of her singing that I know she has a good voice.
She has a good, smoky, deep voice, and if she added some diaphragm to that, to something like a Phantom Lord or Motor Breath, specifically that early Kill 'Em All Metallica, because James Hetfield didn't have that deep voice there in that album. But you hear him in Justice for All and Kill 'Em All, and it's like an octave difference.
See, and that's the thing. I don't picture her doing the Kill 'Em All album. I picture her doing more songs from the Black album, and after that, like the ballads like The Unforgiven, or in fact The Unforgiven, that gives her 3 songs, 2 of which I really like. Nothing Else Matters, like those songs I see her doing really, really well. I maybe one I think she could probably pull off.
Yeah.
But the Kill 'Em All songs, I don't know.
I think she's gonna surprise you with at least one of those. Like she'll probably do Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy is one of it's a heavy fight song that isn't fast and isn't entirely tough to sing, but it is a good song to perform. I think if anything, if she's going to do a cop-out song from Kill 'Em All, it would be Seek and Destroy. But if she does I think she's going to surprise us and do something like, a Blitzkrieg, which is not a Metallica song, but it's on Kill 'Em All. or even Motor Breath, or Hit the Light.
One of my favorite Metallica songs isn't a Metallica song, Whiskey in a Jar.
Yeah,
That's a cover that they did, and I love the way they did it.
and it's better than the original, but I still bought that disc. Well, not that one. The one I bought was the Bob Seger one, where they did Turn the Page. Yeah.
Oh, I love Turn the Page too.
Yeah, and
Actually, yeah, I forget what. You might know the name of their album that was just covers. I forget it. I had it, and there's a lot of songs that I love on that album.
in 1998 they did Garage Days, and then
Garage, that's right. And they did two of those, right? They did part two.
It did
Okay.
the part 2 of that in 1997, which was Garage Inc. And that one re-released Garage Days because that one went out of print quick because they printed the price on it so nobody would get overcharged for it, and people just bought it up because it was cheap and they didn't reissue it. So that one had that original disc with the other ones. But yeah,
and-
like a Black Sabbath song I've never heard at the time. I heard from Metallica, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta listen to later Black Sabbath too. Yeah.
a little behind the scenes. I usually don't say anything for your heavy metal minute because that's your thing. But I had to mention this story because it's one of the few times where this morning, my wife and I were having breakfast, and the news was just on a TV, and we both looked at it, and at the same time looked at each other like, "Oh no!" But then, but it's one of those things that,
oh no,
she's a Metallica fan too. But it's one of those things that, like, as I thought about it, like, okay, well, there's a few songs that I think she could pull off, and now I want to get this album just to see what works and what doesn't. I'm sure there's going to be a song or two that don't work, but I think that album as a whole is going to work. And I think this is one of the things we got to revisit for your heavy metal minute. And as a Metallica fan, my first concert was a Metallica concert.
Which one?
Like that. It was the Summer Sanitarium.
You motherfucker. That was mine too.
Because Linkin Park was in it,
Yeah.
and Limp Bizkit was in it.
Yeah, I didn't get there for them.
Too,
you
but
all were there. Both of you were there, huh?
I was at the LA Coliseum.
That's where I was too. It took 5 hours.
It's like our fates were connected.
Yeah. Yeah. Ever since then, we've been like this as friends.
Can I ask a question though, in regards
No.
to what you're saying with the heavy metal minute?
No.
Yeah.
So when this album comes out, I'm gonna check it out. You're gonna check it out. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
can be a guest on your heavy metal minute. Lauren.
We'll do a fraction of forever reaction video with you and me while we listen to it.
Okay, does it have to be the first time I'm listening to it? Because I'm still upset that I can't open this.
Or for the people, I would say yes, but for production purposes and actually creating good content, no. Listen to it like 4 times and then act like it's the first time. That's everything.
For production purposes, like I should do both. I should listen to it the first time, react, and then listen to it 4 or 5 times.
For you, so that you can recreate that performance that when we actually do our reaction.
Okay, I'm sorry, Lawrence. You had a question.
When you said her singing the number 4 songs, was that because of like track 4s on different albums are similar?
Yeah, except for the first one, every track 4 is more of a soulful, deeper, more emotional song.
Is that intentional?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Mm.
When
That's
I was
interesting.
when I was in a band, I would we did a song called The Fours, kind of like Force, and it was a medley of all the number 4 tracks for Metallica up until the from Ride the Lightning to Injustice for All. So basically from 84 to 88.
And as like generally speaking, a Metallica fan, like that's something they just know. That's something that people
never
like
expressed it as the Fours,
Mhm.
but I did notice that. I'm pretty sure we all noticed that, but we never, like, if I told you I was the Fours, the track 4s, like, you knew exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Not if you mention the track 4s, but if you name the song and now that I'm thinking about it, trying to remember what track 4 is, then I would probably know what you're talking about.
It might have been my own neuroses, Larry.
No, but I by no means am I saying you're wrong, because I don't know. But it was interesting because the way you said it from the context, I was like, oh, like I didn't know Metallica albums like each track 4 was like a similar kind of thing, and I'm sure that that's the case. I was just more wondering if that was something that, like you said, like that you kind of like coined, or if it's something that's like kind of just known by everybody that
it might
happens to be Metallica.
Here's the thing, Lawrence, because if Mo says track 4, track 8, whatever, I'm not gonna remember what track it is. But if he says the names, like if he rattled off a list of the number 4 track in each song, yeah, I can recognize the through line because I know them by the track name.
Yeah, and that's one of those, like, this is how you know that there's like this is the difference. Like, this is how you know Mo is slightly in the other generation than the rest of us, because like that's the thing. Like, track numbers, like when you talk about younger people, they don't know the names of songs. All they barely, like, they start to know the names. Well, I guess it's different. I should say millennials might know the names of songs, but that's because people don't make albums.
Okay,
they'll come out with singles.
Okay, boo.
But Mo's on the higher end of the millennial scale. He's on those millennials that they're like, oh, we didn't know names of songs because they had albums.
I see. You're saying Mo's on that higher end of the spectrum. I got you.
So yeah, that's interesting though. That's interesting. I would be like, that would make me go back just to kind of see, like, oh man, are the number 4 tracks really like kind of the same, of the same ilk? And I believe that they would be, like, because I know that, it's like, I know how deeply you invest in your music, so I'm sure that's the case.
They are. I don't know how far into, like, because there's also the later Metallica albums where people think they sold out or weren't as good. Mm-hmm. And from somebody that said that before, like, as an older man listening to some of those songs are fucking amazing.
Are you the older man?
Yeah, like, as I grew and live certain things.
Yeah.
Listening, like, the song All Within My Hands, when I first heard it about 20 years ago, wasn't any good. And then now they just released it in a different, they did it as one of the soulful ballads, which I think it was a number 4 on Saint Anger, but Saint Anger didn't have any of the soulful songs. It was all garbage. And but the new version of All Within My Hands is a fucking masterpiece.
There you go.
I'm one of those that believes that after the Black Album is when they sold out.
Yeah.
Even though Saint Anger has like 2 songs that I like, Death Magnetic has a couple songs that I like, but like people don't even know about Load and Reload.
Yeah.
And I forget which one it is. One of those has the Unforgiven 2.
Yeah.
And oh my God, that's like one of, like, I love that fucking song and nobody knows about it.
Yeah. Unforgiven, Larry, is one of the greatest songs you'll ever hear.
It's a great trilogy of songs.
No, I know Unforgiven.
Yeah. And when I heard
the other 2 though, part 2 and part 3.
I don't know that heard 2 or 3 now.
When I heard part 2, I was like, oh, this is kind of hacky to make it Unforgiven 2, but the song was good and it worked. But part 3 is like, whoa, this is James.
Really?
Yeah, James Hetfield is a dude in his mind, and he's gone through some shit. He's got a lot of anger issues with death. He was a Christian Scientist, and he watched his mother die of cancer because nobody would treat her, and he had the initial rebellion at like 13, because growing up in church, you want to rebel a little, and he just went the opposite way, and you can see it in his music. Between 1983 and 1988, there's not one song without the word death in it.
Dang.
Like, even the lyric in one is like, hold my breath as I pray for death. Yeah. Like, that song 1 is about the guy that gets the POW or whatever, the vet that is just a brain, his body don't work. And it's like, hearing
the video fucks you up because it's a dude with like no arms and no legs,
right? A homunculi, and
I don't think that's what that's called, but okay.
Is that what that is? Joe knows. Is that what a homunculi is?
No.
Anyway, um, when after you, after you hear him talk about watching his mother die, and then you see how he wrote a song like "Fade to Black" or "One," it's like it takes on a whole other meaning. You know,
Mhm.
cool imagery from MTV music videos. It's
Mhm.
like, and those are the number 4 tracks. Those are 2 number
Yeah.
4 tracks.
I didn't mean to extend the heavy metal minute this
Yeah.
far
Look,
out, but it's Metallica, and I love Metallica. And Lawrence,
it'll
I
be the
think-
next a fraction of forever.
I think Lawrence's homework should be listen to Unforgiven 2 and 3.
I would do that.
I personally love part 2, especially the way that he like that he the lyric where is because I'm unforgiven 2, and like that's the way he because it's part 2. I don't know, it to me it just like brings
the
it up.
entendre. It's like also and the number.
The way I found music, I think he hit that CBD too.
CBD 2. I think that's Lawrence's homework is to listen to. You should actually listen to the original.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Section because it is kind of it's a trilogy. It's a story, and it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't listen to 2 and 3 without listening to 1 first. Also, too, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Batman album covers in Heavy Metal Minute.
Well, that's not news. That's just like discussion, and unless everybody saw it and we made a topic of it in the metal section, then it wouldn't work. But
you're right.
I mean, you brought it up. I don't like
it's
the deal.
Technically a news story, right?
It's not. It's not. It's COVID news story, which is like you put that out. Yeah, but I'll like follow Fantastic Forum on Instagram. I'll do an Instagram live about it.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that because some of them I have questions.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we should do some reviews.
We're gonna do your last death right now.
Okay.
I'm playing with a scary movie review music, so bear with.
Is this a world premiere? Why do I keep doing?
It's not done yet, but this is it. This is the placeholder. All right.
Whatever the fuck Lawrence is doing, I should do that.
Yeah.
What's that? Creepy Hands?
Because
what happened to Mo?
I don't know. Is that the end of it, Mo?
He's a ghost now. That's the thing.
Obi has to come back with like a scary mask or something.
What the hell are we doing? Are we doing a review? I don't even know what's happening.
I don't think that was the right music. Shouldn't there have been like something that says reviews?
Are we doing reviews or
reviews? What do you say, Jay?
He said it wasn't finished and it was a placeholder.
And then he disappeared.
Might not be in yet. But yeah, let's go forward.
Jay's like, bump what's up with Mo? Jay's like, we don't need Mo. He's like, I got this.
Jay, you start us off because you read everything that Mo read and Mo's gone. So all we got is you.
So To Your Last Death is a movie about a woman whose father attempts to kill her and her siblings, and she's approached by a cosmic deity called the Game Master and given another chance to relive the event in the hopes of saving her siblings. And yeah, the horror happens from there.
Horror ensues.
Yeah. And
Well, this. Oh, go ahead.
I will say this is an animated movie, and I would like to say right off the bat, I am not a fan of the animation. Like, it's not good. Like, it's not as bad as other people that use that technique. In fact, it probably is the best of the people that use that particular technique of animation.
Wait. When we say that technique of animation, like, what is this considered a regular animation technique?
Yeah, a bunch of it's a lot of people use it, and they happen to be the best looking bunch out of the people that use it.
This felt like I was like, this is like a motion comic.
Hey,
Right.
I was so mad at G.
It's like, and here's the thing: like a motion comic is one thing.
Yeah.
A motion comic for an hour and a half is a whole different thing. Like I was like, is this going to be this for the whole time?
If you ever go to a website to download like bootleg stuff, it looks like one of those banners of the like Meg Griffin having sex with Homer Simpson.
I've seen that.
And so I was watching the joint like, so was this a comic first and then they made like, or did somebody decide to like actually animate it like this, like throughout the whole thing? Because I was like, I feel like
It was
I don't know.
It was an Indiegogo thing, right? Like that's how it got funded.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it is a cheaper animation style.
that explains a lot.
I think it
but
cost $50,000 to make it.
it's
No,
basically puppetry.
if it's $50,000 to make it, that means that William Shatner got most of that money.
Well, William Shatner, Ray Wise,
Ocarina.
Morena Baccarin.
Baccarin, isn't it Baccarin? Marina Baccarin.
Baccarin.
Marina Baccarin is worth it.
Yeah, she's the one. She's the headliner.
She's fantastic. She was fantastic at this. William Shatner was good too, though.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Oh, Bumper, right?
He was a late addition, though.
no, I believe that 100%. And I really wonder how much money he got paid because William Shatner literally read like maybe like 10 lines, but he read the hell out of those 10 lines, though.
Did he do it in the classic William Shatner style though?
Yeah.
No.
Then no, fuck him.
It's better than it was appropriate to the.
No, if I get William Shatner for anything, I want him to do the oh no, Spock.
Nah, he didn't do that.
You have to watch it because it might be William Shatner-ish enough if you've seen him in other things.
Like you can tell it's him. It's not like you're gonna be like, okay, that's not William Shatner.
It's just not pausing like this.
Yeah, it's not over dramatic. It's actually supposed to be a little like eerie, and I think he pulls that off actually.
That's my William Shatner though. I want him pausing.
You're gonna have to watch the movie.
He ain't
If you want pauses, you got to watch the animation.
Although Marina Baccarin though, like I don't know anybody from that original Firefly cast. Like I love everybody on that. And anything they do, I want to see. And
I love how you say the original Firefly cast, like there was like a second ship.
Well,
like what's the Firefly sequel that we're talking about?
I love how he's like anything they do, I want to see, but he didn't watch Till Your Last Death.
I didn't know Baccarin was in it.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I watched it.
Really, you don't look whatever they tell you that you're gonna review. You don't look at the stuff about it beforehand.
No, I just click on the links that you post. And watch.
I look at the stuff after.
Yeah, no, you got to do it before.
No, I like to go in blind so I don't have preconceptions.
Like I didn't know Resident Alien had 2 dicks in it until I actually watched it, and then I was like, "Oh, hey, look, there's 2 dicks in it."
You can walk right out of his asshole. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Back to the review, Jay. Please continue.
So yeah, that was my biggest thing, the animation. But other than that, I really liked it. Like, I like the story. I like the characters are pretty cool. Yeah, like I really enjoyed this movie.
What is the story behind it? Because we haven't talked about that at all.
Well, no, we talked about it some. Jay did a quick summary.
Okay, I guess. All right, I guess we don't want to spoil anything.
Well, it's a time loop, and that with murder, like
Although at some point we have to discuss and try out. This is for people if you're watching now. In the future, at some point, we're gonna talk about an app that makes you forget what the fuck you just watched. And Lawrence is gonna watch something that's gonna make him crap his pants. And we will verify that there will be crap in his pants. He's gonna try this app that supposedly is gonna make him forget what the hell he just watched. So he's gonna crap his pants, use this app, forget what he just watched, watch it again, and then we're gonna actually measure the volume of crap so we can determine how much he like how much he forgot. How the volume of crap is gonna speak volumes about both the app and the whatever he watched.
So Mo, what did you think?
Thank you, Jay. Jay's doing heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I like you said, I hated the animation. If I see, me, if I see a prop that looks like it was a Nerf gun that's spray painted purple, like I'm out. Like I just focus on it. And this is what this looked like. This weird, like you said, puppetry. It's like South Park, but it's like not trying to look like South Park, and you're trying to look good. Like you spent time trying to make these characters' faces look like the actors, and it's like, why don't you devote that? You can make them look whatever the fuck you want, just don't make them look like they're doing the robot all the time.
So you're not a fan of the animation?
No, I hate the animation, and I would like. It took me about 4 days to watch because I couldn't stick with it. But I'm like, I have to. Like, I don't want to be the dude that I always am that says, you know what, I only watched 10 minutes of it. That's enough. It sucks. It's shit. I wanted to see if the ending was a payoff, and because it's the story was kind of good, and it made me really hate Joe. Is like, why didn't Joe like suggest something like? Well, why didn't he suggest this in the alternate universe where it looked like Hotel Artemis or Bad Night at the Royale? You know what I mean? Bad Times at the El Royale, like, because that's the feel it has. And if it looked like Knives Out or Ready or Not or Bad Times at El Royale or Hotel Artemis, like this would be like the fifth in that movie that I would tell people to watch every day that I see them. Yeah.
And it's so funny because that is kind of like, I know when I was sitting there watching it, I was like, this totally feel like there's totally something here, no question.
Yeah,
like, the story has merit.
Yeah,
and it totally feels like something like somebody would watch and be like, I'm gonna buy the rights to this and make it like into a movie that everybody else can enjoy.
And so that's the problem. That's why I hate fucking the Snyder Cut, because HBO Max could easily scoop this up and do it for 10 million and give you something better.
That by far, you're absolutely right.
And it'll be on HBO Max. They could do it. Well, not with COVID, but at the time when this was released, was August 2019 or some shit? Like, that's when it premiered. Like, that's when they would have put money in it and probably, like, fast track. Because that's when a lot of the movies that started getting, maybe not the theatrical snowball effect, but in streaming, that's when Knives Out started coming out and all those. And everybody that I see that saw those love those movies. And it, the stories aren't entirely the greatest. Some are better than others, but stylistically they're good experiences. And this movie took that from me, giving me that shitty animation.
Now, can I ask a quick question here? Like,
no. Last time you asked a quick question, we talked about Metallica for 15 minutes.
am I tripping in that? What am I missing with the title? Like, is this just like a terrible title, or is there something that I'm missing that makes it so that the title's way more clever than I'm realizing?
Well, she died a couple times, right?
What? But the title is to your final death, right?
To
your last death. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the final. I don't know. What.
She
To
keeps
your
playing,
last death.
She keeps playing the game till her last death.
I mean, but that doesn't make sense, right?
Look, it's not as bad as the.
Yeah, it's not as bad. No, the title's not as bad as the animation, but I think the title's bad too.
I will say, from my point, I've seen worse titles.
Well, yeah, but we're not. It's not like, well, is it the absolute worst title that's ever existed in the history of film? It's does the title make any sense, or am I tripping?
I would say it wasn't bad enough for me to take note of it. Like,
Oh,
I or To Your Last Death, and I watched it, and it's like, you know, the whole time loop thing. Like, I was on board.
but I'm like, if somebody came up to you and be like, "Oh, it's called To Your Last Death," and they're like, "Why is it called that?" Could you answer that question?
I'm not sure that I could.
Because I feel like that's like why a title is a good title, right? Like you're like, oh, I could tell you, but it'll spoil the movie. Or you could be like, well, it's called this because it's about this. But it's like, you know, To Your Last Death. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the words are vaguely related to some of the things that are happening in the movie, but not really, right? It's just kind of like,
I'll say I've never been as particular about titles as you have. So it would slide right off my back for me.
yeah. No, I like names. Names are my thing, or one of my things. So, you know, but I just like, you know, I mean, like, when you think about great movies, like, I feel like the titles are a part of that.
The only name you need is Miranda Baccarin. You're done. Watch it. That's it. Well, what I don't know what your questions are. You're done. Watch it. So ultimately, it sounds like both of you agree that shitty animation but great story. Am I correct?
I mean,
yeah, I liked it. I like the story.
I can't call the story great, but I can call it.
Oh, you didn't watch it, so I'm not counting you.
No, I did watch it. What do you mean?
It sounds like you didn't.
No, I absolutely watched the whole thing.
You didn't say Miranda Baccarin once, so
I was the one that said her name right.
So you done.
Because you said it, Baccarin.
I did not say Baccarin. That's what Oz was saying.
I didn't say a goddamn thing. I've always said Baccarin.
Oh, how dare
forever.
Listen.
Ever since Firefly, I've said Baccarin.
Oh, you sons of bitches. Listen, you go back on YouTube, folks. When you all watch this and you hear them say it, you mess around and you put in the timestamp in the comments. Like, this is
The
when
first
Oz
one,
or
the first one that does it and tells me Larry's wrong gets a prize.
No. Listen, but I have to actually be wrong. Don't say it and I'm not wrong.
I mean, 90% chance when somebody says it, it's true.
What?
That you're wrong.
Lawrence.
Yes.
The gore and the traps in particular, like, how are you feeling about those?
Listen. There was some points that I definitely was like, if this wasn't animated, I wouldn't have been able to watch it. In particular, the trap with the sister, I wouldn't have been able to watch that if it was live action. Now, don't get me wrong though. From a horror perspective, I was like, I could totally see why people would be like totally into this if that was their thing. For me, like, I was watching it and I was like, okay, even with the terrible animation, I was kind of like wincing a little bit because I was like, because I could imagine what it would be like if it was real in my head. And I was just like, ugh.
I feel the need to point out that I don't like when you say that if this was real life, you wouldn't watch it. Because that's
live action. I mean,
live action. I'm sorry. Yeah, live action. Because I feel like that reinforces the idea that you're not doing enough reaction videos to live action.
Listen, I'm gonna do it. because the people want it. I got it. Well, listen, we got a week left in October. I'm gonna do it. Just give me some time.
We're stretching it to Christmas now.
No, we're not stretching anything to Christmas. So listen,
because look, you owe me.
Yeah, I owe you nothing. I'm not getting trauma before my birthday. That's what I'm not doing.
You owe the people.
I don't owe the people anything.
It's not us that you owe.
I've seen the subs. Look, I told these people, give us subs, and what have we gotten? We've gotten some subs, but not enough subs.
Yeah, but you didn't say that till after the fact. Like
you're also making the assumption that they're listening to you.
They're agreed to nothing. All I heard was what people wanted.
I think Joe's saying something that is on my side. So go ahead, Joe.
No, I was asking, have our subs actually gone up?
I think a couple, yeah.
Couple thousand.
No, not a couple. If it was a couple thousand, I would be in a corner crying right now. I would be like, well, I did what the people demanded. But
I don't think you did because we still don't have an OnlyFans.
Our subscriber did go up.
Yeah.
We got like a new subscriber. That's awesome.
Listen, and this is why I don't feel hard pressed to watch these movies and traumatize myself.
But it's not
There's a reason I haven't opened this right here. See,
but Mo, how are you feeling on the traps and the situational horror for the movie?
I did like it. I like those. That's part of the, even with the animation being crappy, I felt like they made smoothness for those a little more, and they were a little creative. So I can't be mad at those. But it again, every time watching this made me, man, I wish this was like a Saw or a Hotel Artemis, these stylized, gritty movies. And I just felt like even in the art style, like they just try to make it too clean. And it's like, if you're gonna make it like this, make it like an anime where you take shortcuts on certain things and then you go out all, like, perfect example is Attack on Titan.
It would have been an amazing anime.
But the talking is, just essentially the 1960s Marvel where it's just the mouth that moves.
Listen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You guys are making this sound very Saw-ish, but at the same time not.
No, it has some DNA. It shares some DNA with Saw, but it's its own thing.
Yeah. And it's, when you bring up, your Hotel Artemis, even your John Wick, like there's a style to these movies that they're a particular genre, and the style is what really pushes them forward and makes them unique, even though they're similar, Mm-hmm. But each one is a good experience. Saw is one of those. What's the other one? There's a series. I don't remember the name of that series, but there's a series on Hulu that's very much like that, and it's really good. It's by the dude that did Quantum Break, the game. He made a TV series, and it's I love the game and I love that series, but I can't remember the name right now. But it's on Hulu.
Another thing, like earlier, I had mentioned how this might be something that somebody would see and buy the rights to, and then like rework it to make like a live action motion picture that kind of is like inspired by this, but like kind of elevates it some. But what else could happen, which would be just as good, I think, and I might be wrong about this, but in my mind, it feels like it would work really well, is if you had people play, like get the rights to this and actually do like a live action recreation of the actual, like almost try to do it like 1-for-1 for what the animation does. And like just play it really straight though, like that would be pretty amazing too. And it would be kind of one of those things where it's like, it would feel like a really interesting kind of cult movie where it's like, people would be like, why is it like this? And you'd have to go back to watch the original one to like get the full appreciation for like the live action version of it. But the live action version on its own could stand as a strange little movie on its own, because it's just like, oh, no, we're just gonna do it like straight up, like how the animation did it, but with real people.
I don't
want
that
would be kind of cool.
Have to watch this.
You don't want what?
I don't want anybody to have to watch this.
No, but it would be different though. It'd be a different experience though. So it would be almost like like Disaster Artist, right? Is that what the name of that movie was?
Yeah.
So you watch Disaster Artist and you're just like, dude, that old movie can't be like this. And then when you finish watching Disaster Artist, you go back and watch the old movie. It's terrible, but it's not like you're not having a terrible time because you have the frame of reference of what the thing you saw. You're like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like you're having a good time watching that.
That's because you never saw that movie before that.
But I'm not saying to see it.
I think
before
that's
that.
the point. Is
That's exactly the point, right? It's like
the critique before you watch the original.
Right.
No.
Mo's like, I want people to be miserable like I was miserable.
I know. It's difficult for Mo because he watches the original shit. And
Yeah.
stuff just kind of poops on it.
Yeah.
Our audience hasn't seen like 90% of the stuff that we talk about. And that's what brings them to us, is that we're going to talk about shit that they've never heard of.
Right.
Cursing
Right.
a lot today.
So,
Well, whiskey.
Not monetized at all.
Whiskey.
Prince, what
Sir.
would you rate this movie?
You know what? It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to rate because I watched this joint for an hour and a half because that's how long the movie is, and I was like especially when it started, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this, because I literally was clicking the thing like, how long is this? I'm like, really? And I'm like, am I gonna do this for all this time? And I'm not gonna say that the animation gets better the further in you get, because it doesn't. But the story brings you in a lot more. And there's something there. I think I gotta give it at least. I think I gotta give it at least a 3 out of 5. Like there's something there. And I don't know what it is. I can't tell you why. Like I got some enjoyment out of it. But I definitely got some pain out of it too.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
What about you, Mo?
I would give it about a 3 out of 5. The story is there. The action is there.
Because the move. I'm sorry.
If it's like reading a comic, like you fill in the gaps. So when it was the parts, the parts where it was compelling, I felt like putting in those gaps. So that in itself is part of the experience,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a 3 out of 5. I would have given it a lot less if I didn't enjoy the story as much, which at first I kind of didn't, but actually today, watching the final 20 minutes, forcing myself to watch it, it did kind of pay off. So I enjoyed that.
Okay.
What about you, Jay?
I would give it a 3.5. And that's just because of the animation. Like, otherwise it would be like a 4.5. Like, I really like the story. I think for what they were doing, non-animation wise, they pulled off really well. I enjoyed the characters, the concept. It was really good. The animation, and it's like, I've definitely seen worse, but it is something that it's just kind of there. It's an animated movie. The animation is there.
Right.
Like, interestingly enough, any still shot actually looks like really good.
Yeah, no, it does.
Like, the art style is really good.
It almost is like a little bit of reminiscent of Dylan a little bit. Like the art style a little. And don't get me wrong, it's not, but it's kind of like it. To me, at least, that's what it reminded me of. Yeah, I'm saying the right name, right?
I have no idea what you're saying.
I'm not sure.
Whatchamacallit? Oh boy, that did Preacher and Punisher, right? Yeah, Steve Dillon, right?
Oh, the art style, yeah.
Yeah, the art style is it's like Steve Dillon
Yeah.
esque. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that that likes his work and was like, I want to draw like that. And it's like, yeah.
That it was one of my criticisms where it feels like it was like a source material that they tried to animate and didn't look good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it like, because that's what I was like, was this actually a comic? But then as I saw how they did things, I'm like, no, I don't think this was a comic. I think this was just how they chose to make this look. And I'm like, that's a weird decision. That's a very strange decision. Oh man.
Only in that it actually it is a pretty common style for like the cheaper productions.
I guess I'm not that familiar with it because,
in fact, your boy, I can't remember which of your boys, but he's in a joint like that with this puppeted animation.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
my boy who?
fuck, I forgot which boy, but it's a joint called Concrete Jungles.
Oh, Tony Purrier and
No,
oh no, that's Concrete Park. Sorry. Damn, I don't know who we're talking about though. Concrete Jungle.
real quick, but
It's all good.
yeah, it's a. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I typed in Concrete Jungle Bob Marley. Is that your boy?
Yes, Bob Marley's my boy. What up, Bob? Holla at me.
No,
I don't
it's-
think he can holler at you
Holla.
at this
Holla,
point.
holla. Look, and the Game Master's outfit, like, I don't know if you can do that in live action. Can you do that in live action? It'd have to be like CG, right? Like she'd be
No.
wearing a
No.
green suit.
They make those in like spandexy, like denim mixed with spandex.
Let me see if I can share a screen.
Because
I can
the singer from Arch Enemy wears outfits like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that called? That I've always considered like a subset of yoga pants.
What?
The where it looks like denim, but it's actually just, I mean, technically yoga pants.
Oh.
Oh, it's jeggings.
Listen, I would pay money to have Moses just say jeggings on a regular basis.
I mean, he just did.
Jeggings.
I can put it on a loop for you, and then as you jerk off, onlyfans.com/fantastic porn.
Look, I want the intern to say it.
The intern sounds a lot like Mo lately.
What'd you say?
Open
Would-
Mike Eagle.
Oh, Open Mike Eagle. Yeah. Like you're are you talking about the album? What was it? Brick Bodega? No, not Brick Bodega.
What is it you're putting up on the screen right now?
This is the movie we're talking about. These are two characters from the movie. And that's the outfit that I'm like, that'd be hard to do in live action.
What the red and see,
Yes.
I guess.
Yes, Oz, not the t-shirt.
Look, I'm
No, Oz, the t-shirt. We're like, I don't know. How are you gonna get somebody to print Panic on a shirt?
I represent the audience.
like,
So,
like the majority of the audience has a shirt that probably is in that style, right? Like the friggin'
as a representative of the audience,
I'm talking about the thing where it's cut out every other piece.
as a representative of the audience, I have to pee, so you should take me off the the main stream.
Oh man, that sounds like this fool's gonna pee right here. That fool said it like he's like, look, he's gonna Jeffrey Tubin us. He's gonna pull his penis out right here and pee on the mic. Like, don't pee on the mic, Oz. You're gonna break it.
It's weird how like you have that name and that's what you're known for. The tubing.
Am I known for the Tubin?
No,
Tubin is.
tubing. His name is Tubin.
Oh,
Tubin. He was playing.
I
with his-
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was messed up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
man.
there was a doctor that was a chiropractor, and he got fired for fingering his clients, and his last name was Finger.
Wait, so
That's
he was a
pretty-
chiropractor? Well, never mind. We won't talk anymore.
No.
about
Go
that.
ahead. We're waiting for us.
We got a type 2.
Got a type 2. Type 2.
All right.
So let's go on to DC Doomed and the Damned. No. Let's go on.
Plain the music.
Scary review. Scary
Like-
review.
Well, not like that, but like.
That sounds like scary music.
So I went to the comic book shop as I talked about earlier. There's a video explaining everything on Fantastic Forum on Instagram. This is one of the books I got. DC's Doomed and the Damned. It's a horror anthology, $10, 80 pages, 10 stories. And they have all your favorite characters. They got one of the writers here is John Arcudi, Saladin Ahmed, Henry Porter, Kenny Porter, sorry, Amanda Dibert, Marv Wolfman, Amadeo Torturo, Elisa Wong, Brandon Thomas, Travis Moore, and Garth Ennis. And art, like, I want to read all the names, but there's a lot. And the art is overall good. But it is a I see horror comics with DC. I want to get it. This one was a little different for me because it is superhero stories done in a horror anthology style. So they were horror stories featuring superheroes, and that's a little hard to wrap my head around because I normally don't like your Justice League Darks and your was it the John Constantine comic, A New 52? What's the other one? Knights, something Knights, the one with Etrigan in it. But this was done a little better than those. Some better than others. There's a couple that it's like, you know what? I could have just have this be a regular superhero comic. However, in an actually stretched out form, I would have rather seen those as actual comic books instead of part of this anthology. I feel a couple of these should have been longer, full page comics, whether they were horror or not, because they could have gone either way.
How long are the stories generally?
Oh, you didn't read it. I forgot. They're a couple pages. I mean, it's 80 pages and 10 stories. So on average, what, like 1.5?
8.
3? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
8. Yeah, you're better at math than I am. You went to college.
Yeah, but no, I don't know if some are longer or some are shorter, so I could see that.
I feel like the last story was pretty short.
Which one?
The last story, Baylor versus Darkseid.
Yeah, that's the Garth Ennis story. It's pretty short, but it's really just Bador and Darkseid having a shot contest, and it was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. It just had a good pacing.
Forgive me on my ignorance of certain DC villains. Who is it with Darkseid?
Bador.
Who's Bador?
Bador is a demon from hell. They actually explain it. If you read it, you'd be filled in enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bador.
Like, even the way Garth Ennis actually did this, where they introduce him, because he knows a lot of people don't know. Darkseid's like, what? And he goes, oh, yeah, he's the ruler of this segment of hell. And he's like, oh, yeah, you guys have hell and whatnot down here. Because, he's a new god. So they have a whole different... Yeah, Apocalypse is hell essentially on the cosmic level, but it's really just a planet. Here they have that concept of hell. So they basically bullied Darkseid into going toe to toe, taking shots with Bador.
Yeah, I like that story. I thought that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. And when you read your Tales from the Crypt or Eerie, there's always like a funny story in the anthology, so I didn't feel out of place, even though it wasn't that horror-y, but it was funny. But it had a horror element, which is demons. I guess that's what passes.
Right. Like some of these actually just weren't horror. They were just... Well, I mean, like the Aquaman Frankenstein isn't horror at all.
Not at all. No, that's that. I was happy to see Frankenstein again because I really like that Frankenstein Agent of Shade, and that Frankenstein. I got to see him again. I've been wanting to see him again, and I don't think he's popped up in anything. Definitely not his own comic, but I don't think he's popped up even in anything ancillary. If I can
not recently.
ancillary here.
Yeah,
I don't.
you used it. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
I think Orca, the Orca orphan story was dark, but
Yeah,
not horror.
not
At least-
horror. And I feel it didn't have, even if they would have had one more page, they could have made it kind of horror-y, but it's not. Even then, it's not. It's more revengey. So it's like if you watch a streaming service like Shudder, you'll get these movies that aren't horror, but they kind of fit in the genre based on how they play out and the tone. Like a lot of these revenge movies, like your Devil's Rejects. But this would have been a good one of those if it was a little longer.
Mm-hmm. And I will say there is one thing that caught me as strange, and I know it's kind of like a weird thing to kind of get hung up on, but when you look at the titles for these stories, the titles each have like the names of the two characters involved, except for the Green Lantern Etrigan story, which only has Green Lantern in the title.
Yeah, I did see that.
Does that bother you, Mo? Because I know Etrigan's like one of your favorites.
Yeah, it bothered me. I didn't. It bothers me now. I'm downright pissed now. But I when I read it, I didn't even make the correlation that was the story I was reading because it didn't have Etrigan in it. Look, again, Etrigan is one of these dudes that nobody really gives a fuck about. They can do with him. He can rhyme. He can not rhyme. Especially when they're revamping the universe, nobody gives a shit, and even the fans don't give a shit. I do, but what's the point of like this? If 2020 has taught me anything, is that I can't be angry at this shit. Like, it doesn't feel right to be angry at this shit. So. Yeah, there you have it. I love that story though. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was another one that wasn't entirely horror, but it had enough of the little tone. But the art style is that dude. What's his name? I'm blanking out on his name. Oh, Riley Rossmo. He's the dude that did Green Wake, which was we're talking about want to read a horror comic that's not really horror but has that motif. Green Wake is it. He drew. What's that other one? Damn it. He drew a bunch of them. He did the Constantine New 52 one, too. He's a good artist. You actually get to see his style develop because he's been working. I mean, I noticed it was him. Larry, if you saw his art style, you wouldn't know it was him because he's been programmed by DC Editorial. But it looks good. So I can't be mad about that.
What does it mean when you say he's been programmed by DC Editorial? Like he watered down his style or something?
Yeah, he cleaned it up. I mean, if you look at it, he did stuff. He did what he did. Damn it, I'm blanking out on all the books he did.
Greenway?
Well, yeah, no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about Debris. If you look at Debris, Green Wake, there's another zombie one. I think it's called The Other Dead. He did that. You look at those art styles, and then you look at this one. It's vastly different. Unless you're a true fan, it's him. And I picked him out.
Just hearing that he watered down, that he did New 52 Constantine, you already know it's watered down.
No, but New 52 Constantine wasn't that watered down.
Oh, I would disagree. Compared to what I read in Hellblazer, New 52.
No. How about the art? Riley Rossmo's art. I don't give a fuck what. Like, we know that's watered down, but we're talking about the art style. Like, he watered down his art. It still looks good. It's just not his art style. It's DC's. It's what DC wants Riley Rossmo to do, or maybe it's what he had to do on a deadline.
Now, I will say, I like how they brought the two characters together. Like, I actually thought that was pretty interesting, where you have someone that escapes from hell and goes into space to avoid being captured and becomes an enemy of the Green Lanterns. Like that, I like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. That's why, like, a lot of these stories, like, even though they weren't horror stories, they were enjoyable, and it's like I would like to see a full issue of that one. You know, although that one didn't feel like it was missing anything. The Raven Beast Boy one felt like it was missing a page or two.
I
I liked
that
it
one
too.
was cute.
I like if that was like a Titans issue, I would have liked to read the full issue. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's the one you like the least, Joe?
Wait, real quick before I go into that, because I know another of your favorites was featured.
Mhm.
The Superman Swamp
Swamp-
Thing.
Yeah,
What did you think about that?
I like that a lot. I liked how Swamp Thing and Clayface fought because they're amorphous blobs with some anthro in there, and them the way that a plant based life form fights a dirt based life form is kind of cool, and the way that it plays out that one's another one that had enough horror in it, like even if it's mainly the ending, to like give you that eerie feeling of reading a horror comic, even though it's a superhero comic. That one did a good job, and I forget who wrote that one. It was Amadeo Torturo. He did a good job with that.
No, I don't know which one I liked the least. Like I felt there was something of value in everyone. I will say the Batman story was in the wrong. I wish that had not been I wish that had not followed the Man Bat Xanadu story. At the end, like in the Man Bat Xanadu, you know, they bring up Dr. Fate like a couple
Right.
times. And then in Batman, they also bring up Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
And it's just weird getting them back to back. Like, and it's weird because the Batman story is actually really good. Like,
Mhm.
I like it. But it's weird, like, they keep having the Fate thing like 2 times in a row.
Like,
That
like
actually-
editorially, it should have been separated by another story.
Right.
The thing is, you know, Dr. Fate is somebody you could do a horror story with easily. Spectre, Constantine, Etrigan, you know, and
Ranger.
Phantom Stranger, and then you'd really just have a Vertigo book, you know, and I think that's what they were trying to get away from, but they ended up, you know, they figured they have to do something. Like Dr. Fate had to be involved in those two. Like they probably didn't even talk to each other to see if we're gonna like bring it in. The editor thought it was fine. But yeah, it's another one of those things. It's like you're trying to go out of your way to not bring in these characters, but there's certain things you can't do without a character like your Phantom Stranger. The editor should have been, if they put them next to each other, say, "Oh, Constantine gave me he blessed these brass knuckles or something." Yeah.
Right. But other than that, I think that was my main issue. Like, I like these stories. Like, they felt good. For the most part, the art was decent. Yeah, like there's nothing really nothing too off about anything. Well, okay, the Solomon Grundy Ra's al Ghul story, that one I would say definitely needed more pages. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know I see what they were trying to do, but they kind of messed it up. And they definitely needed to, like, more
Exposition.
Yeah.
I will say that you all are definitely intriguing the hell out of me. I'm sitting here like, damn, why didn't I read this?
I know.
It's good. Like, there's so much here. It's like the Batman joint, like, that's like some classic shit, which is like,
it's like
basically
Batman versus
Bloody Mary type
Yeah.
characters like killing children, and Batman goes to investigate because no one believes the kids that it's Bloody Mary, and it's like, that's good shit, like, for a horror anthology. And Roz using Solomon Grundy. Like, I don't want to say too much in case anyone is going to go back and read this, but the reason he contacts him is interesting. Like, it makes sense. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, why hasn't anyone done this before? Like, it's just out there enough to be like, well, okay, of course no one did this before, but also enough to like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, why wouldn't Roz and Grundy be doing this?
That's Marv Wolfman for you, man.
Oh, he's good. I like him.
Yeah, Mark Wolfman is great. So, what would you all rate DC, The Doomed and the Damned?
I would give it a solid 4.
I would give it a solid 4 too. The only thing I don't like about it is that I wish some of these were just full-on comics. Yeah, and I think I'm having deja vu. I might have said this about something else.
And if I can quickly call back to what we were talking about earlier, the Superman Swamp Thing story, what you see at the end, that's a homunculus.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's wild. We worked homunculus back in.
That might be the title of this episode.
Cool.
Okay, so it looks like it's right about time. Unless anyone has anything else, it's about time for final thoughts.
Did you play that music, Jay, or did somebody else play that music?
I did.
Oh, okay. Look, man, good job, fellas. A tight 2 hours and 6 minutes so far. I'm messing it up. Okay. Oz, why don't you give us some final thoughts, buddy?
Onlyfans.com/fantastic forum coming soon.
Jay, give us some final thoughts, man.
Definitely. For Halloween, you should probably check out Carmen Sandiego season 3. The first 5 episodes are all featured around Halloween and around masks, and it's pretty cool. Also, you may want to check out the Darkwing Duck TV special of DuckTales, which I'm not going to go into whether it's good or not, but you should it's definitely worth checking out.
Mos Magnum, final thoughts.
Look, check out Color Out of Space on Shudder. I'm gonna be talking about that next week. So if you want to hear my thoughts on it and what have you not, check it out.
For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Until then, please follow us on our social medias. We're Fantastic Forum on pretty much everything. Look for the F. But yeah, follow us.
Does that include OnlyFans?
Yes, it includes OnlyFans. Moses made it yesterday. So listen. Look for us, subscribe, like our videos or our content. Or, if you don't like it, that's fine. Tell us why. Tell us what we should do different. This Fantastic Forum, we'll be back next week. Thank you.